What's going on today, guys? It's Sabri back with another podcast. I'm here today with none other than Noir Barbershop's owner, my cousin, family member, business savant, Toronto legend. If you guys know, you know. If you know, you know. AK Akcutz,
that's
man.
a crazy
Akcutz,
crazy
man.
intro.
AK Akcutz.
Good, bro.
What's
How are
going
you?
on, fam?
Welcome.
How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for letting me come, have this conversation with you. Obviously, I know you're very, very busy. You do a lot. You do a lot.
Man.
Obviously, we're family.
Of course.
Known each other for a very, very long time. I seen you come up. A lot of people seen you come up. In the beginning stages, a lot of people, obviously, they don't really believe.
Yeah.
They don't really believe in your vision and stuff. Talk to me about your vision and talk to me on how you decide to get that stuff started. I know you did a lot of different things growing up. Obviously, you're always business minded. How did you get into becoming a barber?
So I always had a niche for cutting hair.
Yeah.
Essentially, I would never market it or let people know that I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was my own barber for a while. I'll say throughout my college years. I was always cutting my brother, certain family members. Even your older brother, I was cutting for a while.
Yeah.
And then
He was telling me about it. He was telling me about it.
And then from there, it kind of branched off to people telling me, yo, your work's amazing. At that point, I knew I was doing something good. I was doing it right. But I also had my career going on. So I couldn't just quit my job and just, especially with African parents, they're going to be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You have an engineering degree, you're going to do this. You have a business degree, and you're going to go into cutting hair.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly. The African parents, man, African parents. We could talk.
That's a
You
whole
could talk.
nother
You could talk like
topic.
a whole entire week about that, man. But you wanting to be a barber, how do they receive that?
Honestly, it just started off as me bringing friends, family over to the house to get cuts. 1-2 guys a week. And then from there, it's she'll be like, did you cut hair again in the washroom? I'm like, maybe. Then I came up with this idea to do Uber cuts.
Uber cuts.
So this was back in 2018. I was still working my finance job and whatnot. And I came up with the idea to be on the road and be a mobile barber rather than just being stationed and working for someone at a shop.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I can still follow my passion while I'm working my career. So it went to a point where I was cutting 1-2 guys after work. And it kind of built up to having a full day after work, cutting hair, and making more money than I did in my day job, 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
So then you do the math at that point. It's just
why am I wasting my time with this job?
Yeah. So I was transparent with my manager. He was also my client at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him I'm going to take a leave of absence, try it out, see how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started marketing myself on social media, and that's where I kind of blew up. People shouted me out and whatnot. Kind of took over the downtown scene at an earlier time. So my name was bubbling at the time, and I was obviously very grateful, but I still wasn't where I wanted to be.
I remember that time period because at that point there weren't that many popping barbers on social media too in the city.
Not much marketing. The
Yeah,
whole social media trend kind of came during COVID, I'd say, and kind of after COVID. Not everybody was on social media. Everyone was on it in the sense of everyone's scrolling every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's essentially the best way to market yourself.
100%. The way obviously I found out that you're cutting hair was my brother, right? Obviously you guys were close, but at that period in time, how outside of your community, right? Outside of the people that knew who you were before you even started doing the marketing, what was the inspiration or what was the motivation to help you keep going? Was it
Honestly,
even beyond the money?
There were times where I wouldn't even want to cut hair. I'll be tired from working.
Yeah.
I just want to be home, but someone would just message me and be like, yo, I got 4 guys for you. Come to my house. And I'll be like, shit, okay, why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So then, just interacting with people, it got to a point where people, to certain clients, being in a barber chair is a therapeutic moment.
Yeah.
So essentially getting a haircut is their highlight of the week. That's what makes their week, for example. If they're having a bad day, that'll make your day. Now you're looking fresh. It boosts your confidence. So it went to a point where obviously I was putting out good work, thankfully, and then we just started getting noticed. People would tell me, yo, I just went outside and 6 guys complimented my haircut, and I'm like, shit, give him my number. He's already done.
Already done.
So essentially I was marketing myself, obviously, But it went to a point where people started marketing me, so they were doing the hard part for me. You know, putting me on their Snapchat, on their platform.
Word of
So
mouth.
now their network sees you, right?
Yeah. Do you feel like those people in the beginning is just like, why'd you help me that much when you didn't really need to? Like, do you ever had like that feeling?
Yeah, but I'm always grateful. I never question things, you know, like you always got to be grateful. Like I said, like there's always room for improvement. At the time, like I knew I wasn't where I want to be. Yes, I was getting busier, but I just kept going. I just kept going, kept networking.
I had an experience with you. I think it was 2018 at a wedding. Yo, I remember you like in the parking lot cutting. I can't remember whose hair it was.
It was a couple guys.
A couple guys. Like you're cutting hair in the parking lot. I'm like, well, this guy's grinding his ass off.
Yeah. So there used to be a time where that Lawrence strip.
Yeah.
There was a hookah bar called Dreams. There was Habibi's Paradise that everyone used to go to, essentially, you know, just to hang out, study, whatever it is. And whenever I got there, it was like one guy would be like, yo, I need a lineup. It would be a guy I've been cutting. If I pull out my clippers there, it was game over. I'll leave after like cutting 20 guys. And then it came up to a point where once I started my mobile barbering, I would get calls every week from like 3 different guys working at each location saying, yo, I got a lineup of guys for you. Come by. And that gave me a lot of exposure to like the community and like, you know, the Scarborough in general. You know, people coming from outside of Scarborough to those business facilities also networked me to you know, to connect with those guys too. So,
and building that network, do you think that even outside like giving you that motivation to do it, like, do you feel like your network even expanded outside of like the Hurry people?
oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
It, obviously, like shout out to my Hurry guys.
Yeah.
You know, like they kept me going. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'll forever have love for all our people.
Yeah.
You know, the Ethiopian community in general. You know, my friends. But with the help of them and being able to market the work I do on them, helped me reach another group of guys. So yeah, I was very grateful. I reached a whole larger community at that point.
I feel like after you build that network and after you build that marketing, when you first open up your brick and mortar shop, do you feel like that network was also easily translatable to the brick and mortar?
Yeah.
Yeah?
As soon as that happened, the support was still there.
Still there.
They all came by, you know. At the time, we were called Saturday Life Barbershop. You know, shout out to my old business partner, Sage. We did it together. At the time, like, it was just me, obviously, but like I said, the community came, they supported, they were always coming by. But I had to get to a point where now I needed barbers, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, started teaching some guys. My first guy was Cam.
Yeah.
Cam was one of my first guys in the shop, and he's been with us for the past 5 years. We just hit our 5-year anniversary, by the way, which is kind of crazy.
Beyond crazy.
You know, it's a whole new milestone, and now we have a team of like 6-7 staff.
Yeah, that's 6-7 staff for this location, right? How many people do you staff in total?
It depends, like,
because you have 3 shops?
There was 3 shops.
3 shops.
Yeah. There was 3 shops. There was 14 staff in total.
14 staff.
We got rid of one location, had to go because they shut it down, the facility. Okay. So now we're down to the 2. Also, there's a couple more coming in for 2025, so that's in the works. I don't want to get into it too much.
We don't want to get into it. Yeah.
You know, just
inshallah,
be prepared for
inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. You know. No. But yeah, the goal was always to like start a brand, build the brand, franchise. You know, teach people, put people on, so they can be business owners eventually. That's what I'm trying to do with my team too. Eventually put them in positions like me, you know.
How do you discern a quality barber? Not even just like the cut, right? Like interpersonal skills, right? Because like you have to be able to communicate with the people that you're cutting. You have to be like somewhat of a good dude, right? Because like you're like, people aren't gonna be like a reoccurring client if you're a dickhead, you know?
Of course not. So client retention is what we call it. So retaining clients is big. Like, as soon as you cut someone, you'd want that guy to come back to you. There has to be a reason. You have to give him a reason to say, yo, this is a sick cut. I'll be here next week, or 2 weeks. I'll book my appointments. So that's client retention is obviously number 1, but it's also more than just being a barber. You know, as a barber, you got to be outgoing, social skills, de-escalating situations. For example, you can run into an angry guy one day. The next day, you know, you have a jolly guy in your chair. It can be anybody, but it's just how to handle each situation. It all is all in the barber's hands. So, you know, someone could be having a bad day. He could be ranting to you. You know, you could be having a bad day and you don't want to talk as a barber, but what are you going to do in that situation now? You know what I mean? And making people feel better about themselves at the end of the day.
How do you discern like who's like a good fit for your brand? Because
So prior to like hiring barbers, we do an assessment. So obviously there is their resume, which would be their Instagram, their pictures. But essentially, when I hire people, I do an interview. Then I assess them, and they go through an assessment prior to being hired. So, you know, I have them cut some models, do some live modeling work. I try to see where they're at exactly, and essentially if they're not up to par, and I see room for improvement, I'll still take them and just train them, you know. So that's essentially what we do here, man. We try to help people get better at what they do.
What's the worst type of person that's trying that you could potentially hire? In my opinion, working as a personal trainer and being a head trainer, the worst person that you could possibly hire or work with is someone that thinks they know it all. Someone that thinks they know it all, and after that's not willing to learn something, because that's gonna like ruin the whole entire like situation.
So that kind of, you know, it is essential that you pick each member of your team correctly, because they do represent the brand and the shop at the end of the day. So the most you can do as an owner, I can always tell them to do better, right? Give them advice. This is how it should be. Don't do this, you know. But if there's people that are stuck to their old ways, you know, like I've had to let people go essentially. Like we've had to let people go here. Unfortunately, they're all good people, but the mindset wasn't there. You know, they weren't driven. You know, they're just coming to work, just bad habits. Essentially bringing it to the workplace, which would affect everything, you know. So we don't want that.
Sinking ship. You don't want to sink. You don't want the boat.
Just keep it away. Keep cancers and, you know, anything negative away.
Building your brand, obviously, you know, quality control. That's what you went through, right?
That's
as you're building your brand, people are starting to notice. Your marketing is starting to get built, right? People of certain stature start to hit you up, right? I seen. No, I'm gonna be honest, man. I seen on social media, bro. You cut some pretty decent people. You can even get you got Raptors. You're invited to like their location, right? You cut Davido. You know, Davido. There's so many people that I see you cut like. That even that in of itself, that's like a testament of like one, your character, two, like your skills, and three, your brand. All right, talk to me about that. Like,
honestly, it's just I take networking to a whole nother level. You know, being in finance, previously to being a barber, it just taught me how to communicate with people. You know, I literally go out there and I'll lock you in as a client like this. You know, my social skills are great. So essentially with those celebrities, it's all about networking and who you know. So I just tapped into the right network prior to like COVID. And I was known as the mobile barber back then. So, you know, when it came to like celebrities and stuff needing cuts during COVID, essentially I got the phone call. So with the Raptors players, a lot of their coaches are my barbers. You know, there's a lot of people I don't post. Yeah, I've cut DeVito, Gary Trent, Michael Porter Jr. from the States. So many people, man. African artists, you know, YouTubers, you know, you can name it. You know, a lot of these kids come in here. Oh my God, who cut this so and so? You know, I want to go sit in his chair. It's just so funny. It's a new generation, but like honestly, as barbers, like we're very grateful for having these people sit in our chair. I've had billionaires sit in my chair, millionaires. You can say doctors, lawyers, surgeons. Like all kinds of walks of life, like, you know, the Arab royal families from the Emirates, like all kinds of people. And, you know, it's just from everyone, it just depends on what conversation you have and what you take from that 30 minutes to an hour there in your chair. You know, you can either learn from it or it's just another experiment, like another client that just walked in and out. So essentially, like, you want to learn from everybody that sits in your chair, you know, or if they can learn from you, you know, let them leave with something other than that haircut. Yeah, so cutting those guys, essentially, like, obviously, my work spoke for itself. And, yeah, man, we've done a lot of music videos, films. The list goes on.
I seen your brand at the skating rink not too long ago.
Yeah, so unfortunately,
That's the location.
Will's his name. Unfortunately, he had to close that facility. You know, it had a great time. It was great for the community, but unfortunately, that decision had to be made. But yeah, we did have one in there. It was a great location.
I remember seeing, yo, honestly,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that like you had a shop there. I just went I went with someone back then,
Yeah.
and after I was like, wait a minute, I know this brand.
name.
I know this brand. I was like, what the hell, you know?
Yeah, so it was a hot attraction for a lot of visitors. You know, people from the States. You know, all over the city used to go there. It was like a good date spot. You know, they used to have like some events over there, some weekends. So.
And even the idea of
live
having
DJ.
Yeah, the idea is like you don't. I've never.
It
heard
was
of
different.
It's different.
Yeah,
you know,
it
it's
was
unique.
different.
It's unique.
Yeah, it was unique. Like you're skating, and I can get fresh right
I
now.
get fresh. Let me go take a video. Let me go take a fire video. You know.
We got a lot of attention and attraction over there. I'm looking forward to doing something similar very soon. But shout out to Will, man. He's the owner of Pursuit as well, which is just behind that facility. They're still open.
That's sick. That place was sick too. That's like the Ninja Warrior stuff, right?
Yeah.
That place was sick. Yo, if you guys ever have the opportunity to go thing,
It's
to
like
Pursuit,
an adult playground.
It's like adult playground. Check it out, Pursuit. But let's take it back a little bit to the celebrities. What do you think about like Instagram barbers or TikTok barbers thinking that they're celebrities nowadays? Like, what do you think about
Honestly, yeah, I don't want to speak on anyone's behalf, but you know, everyone's work speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So, right. So, and their work will attract the customer that wants that work done on them. So, shout out to everyone. Like after COVID, a lot of barbers came up. Like COVID made a lot of barbers. I'm not gonna lie, they popped out of nowhere. But you know, there's some people that put on amazing work. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Toronto.
You know, there's some that bubbled on social media, but you know, their work isn't that great, but they have that attraction, right, on social media. So social media is a game changer. It can make you or break you, right?
1,000,000%.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, but there's a lot of barbers that came up during COVID, and a lot of them are really talented. I've had a couple. So I also team up with like the Toronto District School Board, where I hire co-op students to do their co-op here at the shop. There's these two kids that now, since they were 15, 16, they've been here. Now they graduated. I've hired them. They work at the shop. They're doing really great, you know. And essentially, the idea to become a barber was during COVID for them, during their high school time. So, you know, and I've heard a lot of similar stories.
I think barbering is one of like the cooler like trades.
It's nice because, like, you know, you meet people essentially you never thought you'd meet. You know, like, who knew I would meet 50 Cent one day and actually shake his hand? You know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like I ran into him in the elevator at the Four Seasons Hotel. I ran into Nelly Furtado. You know, like I ended up cutting her boyfriend at the time. But it's just like it's very random. But yeah, you run into a lot of situations. I'll be in like these hotels downtown, you know, carrying my suitcase. People are like, I'll be in the elevator or the lobby. Oh, what you got in that suitcase? You selling some watches? And I'm like, no.
I'm selling a service.
A haircut.
I'm selling a service. You want one?
I'm selling a service, but yeah, man. It's just a attention. It's a conversation starter. You know, so it's pretty dope. You know, I was doing the car rentals for a little bit. The car rentals, yeah. I'm still doing it on the side, but even the car is like sometimes I'll drive it to a video shoot or a client's place, and it's just a conversation starter.
Do you handle your own social medias as well? Because I seen your social medias, like it looks pretty pristine. It looks pretty good.
I try. I'm not, obviously I got room for improvement. But yeah, I've been handling my own social media and videos and whatnot.
How do you find time to do so many things? Because you are a busy guy, man.
Honestly,
running businesses, still cutting hair, like, you know, doing that, you even told, like, we had a conversation before, you're doing like drop shipping stuff, you're doing like you said, the car rental. Like, how do you find time? And you're a family man too. How do you find time to do all these things? Like, it's crazy.
Time management, man. You just got to learn how to manage your time properly. That's all it is.
Do you have anybody that helps you a little bit, or is it just all you?
So sometimes I'll outsource some work with my other businesses. On like Fiverr. I don't know if you ever heard of that app. You know, sometimes I'll outsource certain things, but a lot of the things are tedious things, and I just do them myself.
That's honestly, that's crazy.
This is like you gotta utilize your time, man. You know, I used to work 24/7. You know, like I would be doing house calls, working on the road 15 hours a day before the shop, and then, you know, 2019, I think it was a year after I started my house calls, we opened this first shop, you know, and it's now been 5 years. This is our December 1st was our 5-year anniversary.
Do you when you started cutting hair, did you picture yourself like getting to this point? Or
Didn't.
you didn't, right?
Like, there was a point in time where, you know, obviously I was on the road. I'll come home, my mom's like, so-and-so told me you just went over to their house, you know, you cut their kids, how are they? And I'm like, oh, okay, now she's, you know, easing off on me.
Easing off, that's what I'm saying, man.
And then one day I came to her and I'm like, oh, I'm opening a shop. And then she's like, what? I have to see it to believe it.
See it to believe it.
There's no way.
That's how it usually
But like,
is,
yeah,
man.
you just show your parents that, you know, your mindset's there. Obviously, I always had the entrepreneur mindset where every job I've worked, every career I've worked, I've always gotten close with like my supervisors, my managers, owners. Like I just hated working for someone. Essentially, I always hated it. Me, I'm a social guy. Like I'll get to know you. I'll learn something. I love learning. Learning never stops. But essentially, I always hated working for another man, and putting money in another man's pockets.
But like, so now you said 5 years in business. Talk to me about the next 5 years. What do you see for yourself in the next 5 years?
Hey man, honestly, this 5 years we've accomplished so much that I didn't think would ever happen. But you know, obviously, the next 5 years, I'll leave it to God.
Yeah.
But I pray that, you know, we have plans obviously, and we're gonna put it into play. But obviously, a few more shops.
Would you ever think about like opening shops like in States or like
I've been asked.
Ethiopia?
You know, I've been asked by a couple of guys. They wanted to franchise my shop in Houston, another one in Atlanta. So
what about Ethiopia?
Hey man,
yo, I don't even.
we'll get in there slowly, man. We'll get there slowly. But yo, I even have a following base in Ethiopia, which is kind of crazy. I seen it the other day, and you know, a lot of people are watching my work.
Yeah, word spreads, man. You know me, people like even outside of the,
man, we'll get there.
Even outside of the barber stuff, you know me, people like that I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like Hari people, like even like Ethiopian people, Hari people, like they come up to me and go like, "You're the guy that does the gym stuff, right?" I'm just like, how do you even know this? You know what I'm saying?
You're all over socials, man.
You know what I'm saying?
One of the Hari is there with a 6-pack, fucking 230 pounds.
Man, like even like the old people, right guys? Like the old people, they're just like, I need to get like you. Like whenever I go to like the community center, I'm just like, this is actually crazy. I'm just like, how do you even know this?
It's a good thing though. It's like it's if you take it in, it's them appreciating like, yo, our kids actually, you know, are doing well for themselves. Yeah, they're not getting at you, don't worry.
No, I'll be 100%.
I get it too. Like I'm around the uncles and they're like, oh, you can touch on my beard. Is this something you can work with?
It's just like it's.
And then they tell me, nah, I've been cutting myself for 30 years. What's the point?
Yeah, like my dad is just a straight bald head.
Shaves it off.
Shave it off. Yeah. You know, but like, there's certain things that like I would say about like the older generation that I do appreciate when they do see something working. They show a certain level of love, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, but like in the beginning, it's not like
they're
that.
appreciative.
It's not in the beginning. It's not like that. I won't lie to you.
Yeah. Honestly, I even got some parents reach out to me like, hey, like help my son. You know, like maybe you can show him, you know, how to, you know, operate. But inshallah, like another thing I'm working on is starting a class courses initiative to like just help kids get off, you know, stay like. Keep their minds level-headed, stay off the streets, you know, focus on themselves, become entrepreneurs. I can bring them in and teach them how to cut. But at the end of the day, like, you know, you got to teach them money management, you know, financial literacy and all that. Like, you got to make sure they're good on that note so it can help manage their business or startups. Like,
and I feel like
you got to do it in a smart way.
I feel like a lot of things does come back down to mindset. Because like,
everything is mindset.
You could have a skill for something, but if you don't have the mindset to go and achieve something, then
everything like you gotta put your mind to.
Wasted talent. It'll be wasted talent. Wasted talent.
It's true. Honestly, like if it wasn't for the hours I even put in here, I don't think I would be here right now. You know, like thousands of heads, but I'm grateful for it. You know, I'm grateful.
Did you ever have imposter syndrome?
Nah.
Never.
What's that?
Imposter syndrome? Where you ever just like feel like, damn, I'm actually doing this, but like it just feels weird. Like did you ever have that? Like I'm doing something that's like so cool, and like it's just like it feels surreal.
Yeah, I do. I keep it to myself, obviously, but there's
Yeah.
times where like I just look back at my say I had a great day. I just met someone crazy. I just look back at my day and look at how grateful I am. You know, I look at where I've come from, where I've come to, and honestly, I can say like thank God for everything.
Yeah, God, honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like the thing that holds people down, and like, at least in my eyes, is like
Gotta be
it's
humble
God.
with
It's God.
everything,
Yeah,
man. You can't be cocky. You know, you can't be like I'm the guy, I'm this, that. Like, you know, there's so many other people out there doing the same thing that have their own, you know, their own drive. You know what I mean? So like, just never let it get over your head. You know, always be grateful for what you have. Always be grateful for what's to come. You know, and that keeps me going every day.
Well, what would one thing, or give me like a saying, or one thing that you always tell yourself to keep you like moving forward? Because a lot of people need something to help them keep pushing forward. What's something that you could like help the audience know, or something that you use constantly to like help you stay grounded?
Honestly, I always come home to my family and I do it for the family, man.
Do it for the family.
You know, I have a
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
You know, so everything I do is for him. What keeps me going every day and showing up basically is just the drive to like just do better. Obviously we have goals that we set for ourselves. Just motivating the community. You know, people come out, a lot of people come out for just this shop. Like I heard about your shop, heard you guys put out great work, and like I'm grateful to hear that alone. You know, that just tells me we're doing something right, and we got to keep it going. No matter how stressful you are in life, just don't ever forget to pray.
And never give up.
And never give up.
Never give up.
You know, you
You
gotta,
one thing that I like to live by, man. Like, no matter how bad things get, man.
you know how it is. You did bodybuilding. You competed.
Yeah,
How much discipline goes into that?
bro, like it's another level.
You were just telling me like the discipline's crazy.
It's another level, man. It's, like, even like if you're capable of like doing something like that, and you're able to apply that type of discipline to something else.
Yeah.
But like even you, the discipline to even like have this business, you can apply that to so many different things, and you'll be successful because you know what kind of work it takes.
There's a formula. As long as you have that formula,
Yeah.
you can literally apply it to anything.
Anything.
Any business, any aspect in life, anything you want to get into. There's just tackle that formula and just lay it down, solve it.
Have that mindset, have the formula, and just keep going at it. It may not take a year, it may not take 2 years. As long as you have that formula and you're chipping away at it, slow motion is better than no motion. That's literally the way. Like, whenever like I'm feeling bad and I'm sitting down, I don't have anything going on for like a week, I tell myself slow motion is better than no motion.
It's fast.
And I try to set some stuff up. That's how I operate. You know?
Oh, that's great, man. That's words,
man.
wise words.
Like
Wise words from the man. You know?
No,
That's
like,
great, man.
I see so many people that's around me, that's been around me in my past. Like I'm just like, if I can't drive motivation from them, where would I ever drive motivation from? Like you're doing your thing. You know, Ohms, he's doing his thing, right?
You know, like community center.
You know, like people that are accountants, people that are lawyers, people that are doctors, people that are streamers, people that are YouTubers, people that are rappers, people that are singers, people that are, you know, you can go on like a million different things, like professions. And I'm just like, these people are so disciplined within their discipline. Like this is so motivational and this is so inspirational. Like, who am I to keep like, you know, like bitching about something? You know, like it drives so much motivation for me, and like that's another thing that like helps me like keep going for, like, just keep going at it, keep working hard. And for anybody that's gonna be watching this, I implore you to just apply that mindset and that discipline. Just keep working hard. Just keep working hard. And like he's a great testament. Like from Saturday night, Saturday Life Barbershop to Noir Barbershop to future endeavors. Like his come up is going to be even crazier than what it has been already, right? His come up is going to be insane, right? Even more crazy than it's been. And inshallah, when he gets to that point, and when all of us get to that point, we all look back at our past and our moments and say, we did it. He did it. And that's the best feeling. That's going to be one of the best feelings that you could have in your life.
I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you for having me.
No worries, man. Anytime.
Yeah, man.
If you want to do anything, let me know. Collab. I heard you're good with your cameras, so.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.